Thank you all for attending this evening's meeting. Our first order of business this evening is a public hearing on Resolution 2 for the draft amended comprehensive plan. I need a motion to open up the public hearing.
Berenger will make the motion.
Second, please.
Carl will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, so the first order of business is local law, resolution number 2 of 2023, the amended comprehensive plan draft. Anyone here on that resolution would like to speak? You're welcome to come on up to the podium and address us.
Mr. Mayor, if you want to just go on to the next public hearing and you can come back to this one to see if anyone comes in the meantime.
Okay. All right, just for the purposes of moving the meeting along, the next public hearing is local law 4 of 2023, which is the Village of Monroe Landmarks Preservation Local Law. Anyone wishing to speak upon that is welcome to come on up now. Good evening.
Hello, Mayor Dwyer.
Sir, how are you?
Not so good today, but
I'm sorry.
Joseph Haskell. I've been seeing doctors for a couple days, but nothing serious, so we're okay. Just uncomfortable. I'm here to speak on behalf of my client, W.C. Lincoln. W.C. Lincoln has no objections to the law per se, except to the extent that the law, proposed law, considers its property automatically part of the landmark preservation group. The local law included my client's property. I think the town is calling it the Roscoe Smith property because it is eligible for landmark preservation, not because it's a designated landmark preservation. It is not eligible. It is not eligible because to be eligible under the SHPO laws, the historical attributes of the property must be, quote, intact. In this particular situation, the property is not at all intact. It is crumbling. I think everybody on this board knows it is crumbling, and the owner does not intend to rehabilitate it. So at this point in time, there is nothing that can be done except causing further delay in my client's ability to develop the property. My client sought a application, a permit to demolish the property, which was denied based upon a law that has already been enacted, which seemed to be a stopgap procedure to stop the demolition of the property. At this point in time, the property is a threat to the health and safety of the community because there could be people who may go there. The roof is crumbling, the property is in complete disarray, and would cost in excess of $1 million, so we're told, to rehabilitate it to a point that it is not a health and safety issue for to the community. My client believes that this law was actually enacted and directed at it to further delay its ability to develop the property. As I assume that this board is aware, the town of Chester recently settled with the estate of Stephen Sherman because it took 20 years for him to try to get property developed. And actually it caused ultimately the property to be foreclosed and lost. Mr. Sherman, before he passed away, started an action for a regulatory taking, and that action was settled last month for $3.75 million, most of which was not paid by insurance. Since we do believe that this law is directed at it, the false statement that it is eligible, a property that is not intact, we believe that the board should take into consideration all of the elements. I have been unable to find any engineering or other data by the town, or excuse me, the village, I've always done that, by the village, which supports the fact that this property is anything but a health and safety issue to the community. The house should be taken down, and if it's not taken down, from our perspective, the village will be responsible for any injury that may occur by somebody on the property if the house collapses. We believe that we should be entitled to demolish the building and go forward with the development of the property.
Thank you. Anyone else on this local law 4? Okay, if no one else would like to speak on the 2 public hearings, Resolution 2, which is the draft amended comprehensive plan, or the local law 4 of 2023, the Village of Monroe Landmarks Preservation Local Law, I would like to get a motion to first close the public hearing on Resolution 2. Can I get a motion?
Berenger will make the motion.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. And the next business is the Village of Monroe Landmarks Preservation Local Law 4, public hearing. I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Carl will make that motion.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, a public hearing, Local Law 5 of 2023 is the Village of Monroe Place of Worship and Schools Local Law amending Chapter 200 of the Village Code zoning. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Carl will make that motion.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, so local law number 5, the public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak upon the Village of Monroe's place of worship and schools, local law amending Chapter 200 is welcome to come on up, give the name to the clerk, and we'll be glad to hear you. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
How are you?
How are you? Good
Good.
afternoon.
Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, honorable trustees, attorney. My name is Avraham, Avrohom, last name Flohr, Flohr. Business owner, property owner, major taxpayer for this village for many, many years. And somebody who knows personally a lot of people except the mayor, a good friend of mine, Mayor, honorable Mayor. So I'm here, and as you see, usually a village board meeting like this there's a few people, not many of the Hasidic community, and now there's a big turnout. And I want to let you know the turnout is not just that we have something against the mayor, just it's more to support and tell the mayor that we are residents from this village, and we really appreciate what you guys are doing. It's a beautiful village. I'm in this village for many, many years. I live up here in Monroe since 1974, so a long time. And the village of Monroe was always the place where we used to go out shopping and all that. And it's only getting nicer, which is good. And I understand that there has to be changes all the time to get, the time is changing, years are changing, and everybody's trying to make things better. And we have good elected officials over here who are really trying their best to do the right thing. But I think there's a lack of understanding to a certain extent, and this is what I want to express and see if I could just relay that to the Honorable Mayor and the Honorable Trustees and everybody else. I think there should be, before we go through something that's extremely sensitive to the Jewish community, we all know what kind of world we live in. I've dealt with the mayor, and when he came to the police department, when he had his older changes, and there was a lot discussed how things are changing in the world and how communities are just going down. And one of the things we all know is to keep communities together is religion. Again, there's freedom of religion. Nobody has to be religious, but the religious communities, we all know, they keep together, they go out prayer, they do their prayers, they keep the kids together, they bring the kids to prayer, and that brings that they should respect each other, and they should respect different communities, other religions, and that's very, very important to every community, and especially to us, the Jewish community. And yes, there's a lot of churches over here, and a lot of synagogues are coming up here. And there's got to be some laws to, everything is changing, to keep things in a way that it should be good for all the residents. But I want the village to understand, before we go any further and we start making any decisions on this law, that there is certain restrictions that a Jewish community has when it comes especially to the holidays and Saturdays, that we have, there's certain restrictions that we can do. So, in instance, the driving and carrying certain stuff, that's why we know the Erev, which the mayor was very strongly involved in helping us out, which we thank you for that. And when it comes to assemble, we looked through this law, we spoke to attorneys, we spoke to a lot of people that have been through this in different villages, in different towns. And we feel that the way it is right now will cause restriction to the Jewish community. So What we're saying is, before we go any further, the best thing, what we are suggesting is to sit down with the community and go through and see what could be done on a way to satisfy the residents from the Jewish residents from this community. We're not asking to like, the mayor understands, and I always told the mayor that I know the mayor personally. Certain people will think that what mayor does is discrimination against this, against that. I know the mayor personally. He's fair. He's trying to do the right thing. So, all the trustees over here, John, Trustee O'Connor, and all of you, okay? You're trying to do the right thing. That's why you're sitting over here. You're not doing this because you don't have what to do with your time. You're very busy, okay? So you're here because you want to make this village a better place, and we appreciate you for doing that. And we want you to continue to do that. And this is why the village of Monroe is one of the safest villages in the United States. And that's all thanks to be on top of things like you are, and be on top, make sure. And again, there's certain changes that has to be taking place at all times. You understand that. The world is changing. But when it comes to something like that, the Jewish religion is the oldest religion, and it's a religion that we all know doesn't change. And when it comes to Shabbos, and when it comes to the holidays, if there's certain restrictions that we have, we cannot change that. This is what it is. So what I'm only asking is, before you go ahead and pass this, please sit down with us. Let's see how we could work this out in a way that it should be in a way that everybody should be happy. And yes, we understand the traffic issue, we understand the assembling issue, we understand all that. And Mayor, we appreciate there's the parking enforcement that go around. It's not always right when we get a ticket to see this pink thing on top of us, but it is what it is. You gotta just let them know that, be careful. And so we are with that, but we would like to see if we could sit down and discuss this when it comes, especially because we think it's going to affect our community when it comes to that, especially because the restrictions that we have on driving and on carrying. Certain times we have to put a car in a certain place because if not, we're going to have to walk back at the darkness after Shabbos. So there's certain parking issues that comes in place, and certain gathering issue that comes to place. And this could all be discussed when we have a nice conversation together and try to work it out. So I really appreciate if you give us the time before you pass this, before you go to the next step, to sit down with us and see if there's something that could be worked out. And because I know in your hearts that this is what you want. You're not here to push something on anybody because I see the other, when whatever you do, that this is what you want. You're always there to help, all of you. And that's why I will just asking if you could give us some time before you go ahead and meet with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else from the public regarding this amending of Chapter 200 of the Village Code? Okay. If there's no further comment, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, may I suggest that you close the public hearing but allow a 10-day period for written comments?
Yep.
That would be permitted to go into the record so that the board can perhaps hear other comments from the community.
Right. Okay, so we're going to, I'm going to need a motion to close the public hearing, but we will have a 10-day period where anyone can write into the village, to myself, or the board, or the clerk, and have a discussion or, air your concerns in writing, which would be totally welcomed as well. Okay? So,
Writings would be part of the public record.
yeah, and then they would become part of the permanent record here from tonight, for sure. Okay, so I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
A second, please.
Carl will second.
Further questions? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, next order of business, another public hearing, local law number 6 of 2023, which is the amendment to the Village of Monroe Architectural Review. I need a motion to open that public hearing.
Ferraro make the motion.
Carl will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, local law number 6, which is the amendment to the Village of Monroe Architectural Review. Public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on that matter is welcome to do so as well. Come on up to the mic and all these, just a informational point, all of these local laws that are being opened up tonight and then closed in public hearing, these are all locally available on our website, so villageofmonroe.org. You can go out there and you can find them right on our website, and you can read through them if you haven't seen them or had a chance to review it. And then if, like I say, you want to respond to anything, we're welcome to hear anything you have in writing. No worries. Welcome to sit up here if you'd like. Yeah, sure, why not? Nice cushion. Okay. Give it a couple minutes. Do you have this? You have it, right? Yeah, good. Okay, if no one is going to come forward regarding the local law, number 6, for the amendments to the Village of Monroe Architectural Review Board, I make a motion or ask for a motion to close the public hearing on that. And
Berenger will
again-
make the motion.
Yeah, second?
O'Connor will second.
And just to edify, just to be clear, again, any comments, they're welcome in for a 10-day period as well. Okay, we have first and second, call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, thank you. Next order of business, I'd just like to take a roll call. Trustee Berenger
Berenger's present.
Ferraro, present.
Carl, present.
O'Connor present.
and Dwyer present, thank you. Okay, first order of business, I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes as submitted by the clerk for the April 18th, 2023 board meeting.
Carl will make that motion.
O'Connor will second.
Okay, any discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the approval of the meeting minutes for the April 26th, 2023 special board meeting. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
Ferraro, second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the April 28th special board meeting. I need a motion to accept the minutes as submitted by the clerk.
Berenger will make the motion.
O'Connor will second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business, the appointment to the Monroe Joint Parks and Recreation Commission. Trustee Ferraro.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees appoints resident Joe Kiosi, 40 Quaker Hill Road, Monroe, New York, as Commissioner to the Monroe Joint Parks and Recreation Commission, fulfilling an unexpired term of Kevin Metcalf, expiring 12/31/2024. And I'll put that in the form of a motion, please.
Second, please.
Berenger will second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, resolution for an audit of the New York State 2022 general election. Yeah, I have no problem with it. You have a problem with it?
What's that?
You have a problem with that?
No.
You?
No.
No.
I have a call into NICOM about this group that's beginning to now appear at every sort of local board.
Okay.
I've asked them to give me some information about vetting who these people are, how they're funded, and what the point is.
So should we just table it?
I'd like to know that a little bit earlier than on the agenda. So we're gonna table this motion for now,
Under,
while our attorney is doing some diligence on it.
okay. Next one's yours.
Next order of business is the completion of probation for police officer Fred Rowe.
There you go.
Be it resolved, Police Officer Frederick Rowe has hereby completed his probationary period effective May 1st, 2023. The necessary MSD-426-B will be submitted to the Orange County Department of Human Resources, and I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second, please?
Ferraro, second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, resolve the Board of Trustee approve the recommendation of working leader Aldo Chiappetta and appoints Matthew Pasculo of 44 High Street, Chester, New York. Mr. Pasculo has been pre-approved by the Orange County Department of Human Resources with an effective date of May 3rd, 2023, at a rate of pay of $38.27 per hour. I did not read that at the top is the appointment of heavy equipment operator. I apologize. He was a laborer and he's now a heavy equipment operator. I need a motion.
Carl will make that motion.
O'Connor will second.
Discussion?
Well,
Cool.
his rate of pay now goes to 38.27?
27, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have first and second. Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, Trustee O'Connor. Resignation of part-time code enforcement officer.
Be resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the resignation of part-time code enforcement officer Thomas Keck Jr., effective April 28, 2023. The board wishes him well with his future endeavors. I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
Carl will second.
Further discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the rescinding of amendment to the Village of Monroe Summer Carnival with Ace Tent Amusements. Trustee O'Connor.
Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees rescind the 2023
It's okay.
amended contract with Ace Tent Amusements for the additional weekend of Friday, July 21st, 2023 through Sunday, July 23rd, 2023 for the Village of Monroe Summer Carnival to be held in Crane Park. The Village of Monroe Summer Carnival is still scheduled for the original dates of Thursday, July 27th, 2023 through Sunday, July 30th, 2023 with a signed contract on file in the clerk's office. And I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
Carl will second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is DPW equipment surplus. To resolve, the Board of Trustees declares the following DPW non-working equipment surplus and authorize its removal from inventory. A 2009 F-350 XL Super Duty VIN FTWW 3A52AEA 26Z05, Salter Airflow Electric Spreader, no VIN or model number was found. Truck number 10, which is an FWD plow truck, 1985, VIN 1F9A X28R5FCFT1156. Truck 11, FWD plow truck, 1984, VIN 1F9A X28RZE CFT1100. Leaf machine, ODB LCT 650, serial number 10064656. Ford tractor 3400 model 34023C, serial number 0196288. Jacobson Turf Cat T423D, serial number 61361832. And there's also a 1/4 inch of tar and chipstone, about 2,000 tons of material that is considered dirty and is not permitted to be used on a project that we do every year in the chip and stone project, chip and oil. So I need a motion to surplus out these items.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl will second. Discussion.
Sure.
On the 1/4 inch stone, that's just basically from being swept up. It would be my recommendation that we hold on to that. That's perfect bedding material from when we put the water transmission line in. That can be used for that. We can bed the bottom of the ditch, lay the pipe in it. I went down there and looked at this stuff. There's no tar on it. It's just,
Yeah, no,
it's just
just
dusty,
dirty.
it's just
Yeah,
dusty
yeah.
stone. But that's ideal for, even if we have any drainage projects around town where you gotta bed your culvert pipes, that's the perfect stuff for it. So I'd like to see us hold on to that. And we can use that towards the projects, especially the transmission line, because that's gotta get bedded, you know,
Yeah.
the pipe's gotta be bedded.
So, and I also agree with that. I had actually asked, and I apologize, I don't remember who I discussed it with, but they made a point of saying that it becomes a transmission itself. So the trench is there, and then we put the base in, and then we put the pipe in, and then we bed it, and they say that that could cause problems.
No,
No.
no, absolutely not.
Well, I don't mind holding it. 2,000 tons of material, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's.
I don't remember exactly what it was, I'll be honest with you, but there was some issue.
No, that's the perfect material for bedding pipe.
Okay.
So I'd like to see us remove that, and everything else I'm all for.
All right, so let's take the 1/4 inch stone off the list until further notice, but the balance of it, as I've already advised, will be removed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. So I modify my my statement, my resolution. So I need a first and a second. Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Okay, anybody have the unpaid charges?
Yep.
I just have this. I don't have it. Oh, looking right at it.
Big list.
I got it. Okay. Resolve the requirement of Orange County Real Property Tax Service, the preparer of the June tax bills. The Board of Trustees authorized the village clerk to forward the following amounts to be levied to fiscal year 2024 June village tax. The amount to be raised by taxes last year was $7,465,594. The unpaid water charges are $378,370.15. Other charges, $50, and property maintenance charges, $11,499.22. The unpaid property maintenance charges, DM 001, and unpaid fire inspections, OC 10, listed pertain to the following properties. Yeah.
Did they have to be read?
The agenda's on the, is this on the website? No, the packet is not.
Okay.
Okay, Okay,
Tax map number 201-3-11.1, $25. Tax map 203-4-4, $242.57. Tax map 203-5-16.2, $245.98. Tax map 204-3-19, $130. Tax map 205-4-62, $195. Tax map 205-4-69, $311.88. Tax map 207-2-1, $390. Tax map 208-1-12, $1,170. Tax map 211-1-1, $947.58. Tax map 212-2-2, $725.56. Tax map 212-7-6.2, $25. Tax map 212-7-10, $292.50. Tax map 213-1-30, $316.27. Tax map 215-1-9, $3,447.06. Tax map 219-3-97, $270.56. Tax map 219-3-108, $405.84. Tax map 220-4-6.1, $195. Tax map 227-1-44, $195. Tax map 227-1-55, $390. Tax map 228-1-13, $169.34. Tax map 228-2-17, $1,459.08. I need a motion to levy these taxes up to the county.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl will second.
Further discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Take a swig of water. You
Yeah.
deserve it.
Okay, very good. Okay, next order of business, resolve the Board of Trustees authorize the village clerk to place a legal notice in the Times Herald Record advertising the Mill Pond South Dredging Project provided by consulting engineers Cornerstone Engineering and Geology, PLLC, 100 Crystal Run Road, Suite 101, Middletown, New York, 10941, with a bid opening scheduled for Friday, June 9, 2023 at 10 a.m. I need a motion to authorize the release.
Ferraro, make the motion.
Carl will second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, introduction of local law 7 of 2023, amending and rescinding of local law number 2 of 2023, and scheduling of the public hearing. Be it resolved that an introductory local law titled rescinding local law 2 of 2023, which prohibited all recreational access to Monbassia Lake, is hereby introduced by Mayor Dwyer before the Board of Trustees of the Village of Monroe, County of Orange, State of New York, and be it further resolved that a copy of the aforesaid proposed local law be laid upon the desk of each member of the Board of Trustees, and be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees shall hold a public hearing on said proposed local law at the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York, at 7 p.m. on May 16, 2023, and be it further resolved, the village clerk shall cause or publish shall publish or cause to be published a public notice in the official newspaper of the Village of Monroe no later than 5 days prior thereto. I need a motion to schedule this.
Carl will make that motion.
Second
O'Connor will second.
discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order, trustee Carl.
Yes. Resolve the Board of Trustees direct the village clerk to advertise utilizing the village's website and constant contact for the position of part-time water billing clerk as follows. Part-time billing control clerk. The Village of Monroe Water Department seeks a detail-oriented, responsible individual with excellent people and administrative skills. The work involves responsibility for routine clerical and keyboarding tasks in connection with the office organization and preparation of the village's quarter water bills. Work is performed under the general supervision of the water plant operator and involves the exercise of independent judgment and accuracy in maintaining computer files on all water customers and in the billing of customers for water use. The applicant must be able to work independently as well as demonstrate proficiency in Microsoft Word and Excel. Bookkeeping skills a plus. Appointee will be subject to a background check, hourly salary dependent on experience. Please submit resume and cover letter to Mayor Neil Dwyer, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York, 10950. So I'll put that in the form of a motion that we advertise for water billing clerk.
Second,
O'Connor
please.
will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay. All right, that's the general order of the agenda. I have nothing from the mayor's side. Anything on the trustees?
I wanted to say, I think it was a very successful clean sweep, but I hope that just everyone can try to be more mindful about keeping our village clean, not just at clean sweep. I know there was a lot of garbage. I was over by the Heritage Trail area, and there was a lot of bottles and garbage and just a lot of debris, and I almost wish it was something we could do maybe more than once a year, but just being more mindful to that.
Thank you. Trustee Ferraro?
I just want to bring up, remind people that this coming Saturday at the Town Hall, we're having a public meeting on Crane Park. That's the park with the ponds in it, and how to maintain it, how to keep it beautiful, what some changes should be done to it to make it even better for people. So if you can make it, it starts at 12:30 at the Town Hall. That's 1465 Orange Turnpike. Thanks.
Trustee Carl?
Yeah, just a couple things. 13 Lakes Road, what's the status with that violation to take that, the front of that?
We can't seem to get it bidder.
What's our next step?
We'd have to go in and do it, which I'm really resisting doing, but if we have to, we'll do it.
All right.
Secure it.
What's that?
Take it down and then secure it.
Okay, because
That's the porch and everything.
I'll get with you after, we'll see what contractors you notified. There might be another one that might be interested in putting a price in on that.
Good. I'm in.
I do see One Stage Road, the bushes finally were removed,
Yes.
so I guess hopefully we're gonna start seeing a little
Yeah,
progress
he's got
there.
3 on the right side to do, but he's on his way.
Okay. Signage, Stage Road. Oh, the no parking signs on Stage Road and Spring Street, have we?
Yeah, so, yep, on Spring Street, the DPW met with the chief to clarify that it had been done prior and never done the work.
Mhm.
So, we bring in the new body now, and he's met with them, and the signs have been ordered, and a markout's been done. We're waiting for Frontier as the last 811 number to respond on that. On Stage, the same thing. The working leader, Chiappetta, met with Chemung Guardrail,
Mm-hmm,
and we're waiting for a price on that.
okay.
And the repair, they also spoke about, he's working on a number to repair it in its current iteration. There's a bigger goal, but we're not gonna wait for
You're
the goal.
talking about the
The dam.
dam?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Stage Road.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the-
yeah,
that's-
both. He
Okay.
came for both.
Okay. I think the last thing I got, I was able to secure a $100 donation from Walmart towards the fireworks. I've been to a few of the larger box stores twice now, and that's what I got, a $100 donation from Walmart towards the fireworks.
Public's here, why don't you tell them that what we've done to increase?
Yes, our fireworks, we have increased our firework show the last 2 years, trying to make it a little bit larger, a little bit more robust for the public. So we've been going out to basically the larger corporate stores in and around the Monroe area, seeking donations. To continue to hit the small little mom and pop stores, because they're the ones that always seem to come out and do all the donating for anything and everything. So we went to the larger box stores, and as you heard, I was only able to secure a $100 donation. I was a little disappointed, but it is what it is. But I'm still waiting on one other larger store right here in the village of Monroe. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they come through for us. But
What is it, 20,000 this year?
yeah, it's a $20,000 show. We are changing vendors. We have been using Legion Fireworks for many, many years here, and we're going to be using Garden State. They gave us a better price with a lot more display, so you should be seeing a more, again, robust show this year. So, but I'll continue to work on that, and then we just got to talk about the street fair that we're going to do prior to. I just need to discuss that with the board. We try to keep the food trucks out of there, not that we don't want them, But they come in, they set their trucks up, and they're running generators, and people are sitting with lawn chairs waiting to watch the fireworks and listening to generators running. So that really doesn't work out for us. We try to get the non-for-profits, the fire departments, the churches and stuff to come out and sell food and beverage and stuff to help raise funds for themselves. So hopefully, within the next few weeks, I'll be getting on that with letters out, see what we get in.
And what date is it?
It's July the 2nd. I believe that's Sunday night, is it not?
It's a Sunday, right?
Sunday night,
Yeah.
July the 2nd, so.
Sunday, right?
Right here between the two ponds, that's where the action will be.
Okay.
But you'll be able to see it all around Monroe. So,
Mr.
Ed,
O'Connor?
that's all I
I'm
got.
sorry.
The only thing is the treasurer and his assistant and I are entertaining proposals for a new accounting system and/or enhancements in education on the existing one. So it's a process. We'll
Yeah.
take some time doing that.
Good, thank you. Okay, council, do you have anything?
No.
Okay, anyone from the public wish to speak? Come on up. Just give your name to the clerk, and you're welcome to speak.
Michelle Hieronymy. Is that on?
Yeah, it's fine.
Just feel like I'm not being heard. Okay. I was told that this would be on the agenda, which it was. It's not on. It is. You can hear me?
Just tap it. Yep, it's on.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I can hear myself. Okay. In any case, 2 weeks ago we were here, and we gave it to you all, and I was told that, it would be on the agenda, and probably, you would be processing it.
Sure.
What happened?
Well, it was on the agenda.
Yes?
Council's doing some research, and we're
But-
waiting for that feedback yet.
I can just tell you that there's no financial liability to the village. None.
No, and
Because
I
other
get it.
towns
Yeah.
have looked into it. None. Okay. I'm really disappointed because we came here because I was told that you would sign. Okay? I was told you would sign. And, okay.
I
that's-
apologize for that, and we'll address it then,
So when is it going to be? You're just going to,
May 16th.
oh, come on, you're going to put it off another couple of weeks?
But we don't meet but twice a month, unless we have to.
Can you do it sooner than that?
Well, by law, we have to notice the meeting, it has to be in public, we have to pick a time. Everybody has schedules, there's a lot that goes with that, and I'm not trying to, push it off, but that's,
I'm really disappointed. Thank you.
well, stay with it. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I said Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Tammy Bierker. I'm from Camp Comfort, and you brought up Local Law 7, and yet we don't know what's in that law to come and respond to. And so I'm asking the question tonight. It was on the agenda, and usually when things are on the agenda, something goes out with the agenda.
Sure,
So we do not know anything that's on there at this point.
it should be.
It'll be posted on the website. All it's doing is rescinding the local law that the board passed.
Law 7 will just rescind Law 2, Law 2?
Yes,
That's all it does.
That's it.
that's all it does. No, it will be on the site tomorrow. First, it's introduced to the board. The board has a chance to review it, and then it's put on the website. So it'll be
Okay.
on the website tomorrow.
Okay, and this is something, as you know, that is very near and dear to our hearts, and we're hoping that you'll do the right thing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to, please?
Mary Ann Bishop, 60 Water Plant Road. So you spoke really quickly, I just want to make sure I got it. So what's happening on May 6th, and what's the 5 days, May 16th, and what's the 5 days prior?
So the local law 7 that was proposed tonight and to schedule a public hearing, that will be addressed on the 16th. The public gets a chance to come in and discuss what what's in the local law 7. But as council just said, all local law 7 is the rescinding of local law 2 that we passed.
Okay,
Nothing more.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have a lot of things written up because I didn't want to take 30 minutes talking to all of you. This is a copy for the attorney and everyone else.
Okay.
I've been complaining for a couple of years now about dead trees at the base of my cul-de-sac. I live in Wingate Woods, and I live on Wingate Court, the middle cul-de-sac. And there's a lot of dead trees and things, and we had an issue a couple years back. I spoke to the mayor verbally. We spoke verbally a couple years back, and there was an incident where teenagers were walking in the woods by the creek, and as soon as they came out, a branch fell, a dead branch. There's a lot of dead branches in there. The place has to be cleaned up. I had some complaints. The mayor came to my house last week with your so-called supervisor, and they came to my house, to my cul-de-sac yesterday, and they took down a minimum of 7 healthy trees. There was never any discussion about taking down healthy trees. So they showed up again today, and I ran out, and I spoke to Aldo, and I have to apologize because I called him an unladylike name.
Can I interrupt you 1 second?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And if you could, tomorrow, maybe make arrangements to do that to him, for him.
Okay?
Thank you.
He didn't seem to understand. He thought that I wanted all the vegetation pushed back, he said, and that's why he took down healthy trees. He said they were coming over the street in the cul-de-sac, and there was only one branch from a healthy tree that was coming over the whole cul-de-sac, and it was right at the curb. Anyway, so I wrote everything up, and I can promise you I'm not going to bring this up again. However, I have emails from a couple years, and as you will read, that if I move or I die or somebody's going to have copies of these emails, because the children now, especially the new Hasidic children, they're just very playful. They're all over the cul-de-sac, and they're going down by the creek. And if anyone gets hurt, the village is going to have a real liability problem, because I'm putting you on notice, since I'm not going to speak about this again, that I will turn over or have someone turn over all the emails to a family and an attorney if any child gets hurt. And I sent the mayor an email yesterday after I was like really upset because they cut down these healthy trees and they took off and they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I have written up pretty much everything in the first page and attached a copy of the email I sent to the mayor yesterday. So again, I'm not going to mention this again, but you have been put on notice. If any child gets hurt walking in those woods with the dead branches where people can trip over them and fall into the creek, you guys are on notice that you will be liable if any child or even any adult gets hurt.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else in the public wish to speak? Okay, if that's no one else in the public, I need a motion to go into executive session for the
Berenger will make
purposes
the
of
motion.
attorney-client and personnel.
Berenger will make the motion.
Second,
Carl is second.
call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Thank you all for attending tonight.